Hello, my name is Katie McClure, and I'll be your host as we dive in and explore the modality principle. Instructional designers often use the modality principle to enhance learning by strategically combining visual and auditory information. So today we're going to explore how we learn most effectively using our eyes and ears. We'll also look at a practical example to see this principle in action. Our goal is to identify the modality principle in multimedia learning. We'll see how using both visual and auditory information can enhance our understanding of one of the 6 e-learning principles developed by Ruth Clark. Think about how you prefer to learn new information. Do you find it easier to understand when you read about something or when you listen to it? The modality principle suggests we learn better when information is presented using auditory and visual methods. Adding narration to the graphics allows the learner to listen instead of concentrating on reading the text, simultaneously incorporating visual and auditory learning styles and preventing cognitive overload. Here's an example. First, I will present this image to you with no narration, just a graphic, and allow you time to view it. Now I will change the modality and present the same graphic but with a narration. Here you see an infographic explaining the perfect ratios on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The image in the middle shows the sandwich with each layer separated. On the left, a graph indicates increasing satisfaction, symbolized by the growing stack of sandwiches. On the right, a circular chart divides the sandwich into 3 parts, highlighting the proportions of the sandwich. Now, if I were to ask you which graphic was more educational, the graphic without narration, where you had to interpret the information on your own, or the graphic with narration that taught you the meaning of the infographic, I bet you would say the graphic with narration. Combining both audio and visual channels allows us to visualize the process and hear about each stage simultaneously, leading to better comprehension. As we explore multimedia learning, it's important to remember how our brain processes information. Using both audio and visual channels helps to reinforce learning and prevent overload in one channel. Can you think of other examples where using both visual and auditory information might help learners understand more effectively? Here's an example of the water cycle. If I presented the image to you with no narration, I would leave you to view the image with the text and no explanation of the 3 water cycles. However, if I use the modality principle, I will present the image with a narration as follows. The graphic shows the water cycle. Evaporation, sun heats water, turning it into vapor. Condensation, vapor cools and forms clouds. Precipitation, water falls as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Then the cycle repeats. By seeing the stages in action and hearing the descriptions, we're engaging both our visual and auditory channels, which enhances our learning. When we use both senses, we can often better understand and remember the information. This is the essence of the modality principle. Now, let's test your understanding. See if you can fill in the blank to this phrase. If you said, explaining visuals with audio enhances learning, great job. Here's one more fill in the blank question. If you answered, using both audio and visual channels helps to reinforce learning and prevent overload in one channel, you answered correctly. Now I'd like for you to reflect on your current instructional design practices. How can you incorporate the modality principle to enhance your learning experiences? Consider including both visual and auditory channels, such as multimedia presentations, videos, or interactive diagrams, to better connect with your learners. After watching this instructional video, I hope you can now identify the modality principle and interpret how visual and auditory information enhances learning. Thanks for watching.